Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'll be addressing some of the problems that some of you are having installing chipless firmware on the XP15000. Today I'm going to be working with this XP15000 that's been sitting for about 6 months without being used. It already has chipless firmware installed, so I'm going to remove the chipless firmware by updating to the latest Epson firmware. Then I'm going to uninstall the printer and the driver from my computer. I'm going to re-download the latest printer driver from Epson, reinstall the printer, going to reinstall the chipless firmware by using my activation code, and then I'll go ahead and try to clean it up and put it back into service. So getting right into it here, I'm first going to update the firmware to the latest Epson firmware. And normally you would never do this if you already have chipless firmware installed, but I'm going to do this just to show that you can still install chipless firmware even with the latest firmware update from Epson installed. I've been reading in Facebook groups and getting emails and reading YouTube comments from people saying that once they've updated to the new Epson firmware, they run into trouble installing chipless firmware. So after the update is complete, the chipless firmware will be overwritten by the new Epson firmware, and I'll lose the ability to read the chipless cartridges. So I'm going to wind up with this maintenance error telling me that the ink cartridge is not installed correctly, which is okay, and that's where I want to be right now. And this is where a lot of you guys are getting stuck. So I'm going to leave it on this screen and head over to the computer to finish installing the printer. Alright, so on the computer, the first thing I want to do to get this started is I want to disable my antivirus temporarily. So I'm going to go here, go to Windows Defender. This is the only antivirus I have. If you have something like Norton or McAfee, it might be something different to get to these settings. But I'm just going to right click here, click on View Security Dashboard, click on my Virus and Threat Protection, go down here to Virus and Threat Protection Settings, Manage Settings, and then I'm going to click the Real-Time Protection off. And click on Yes here and close these out. And I'm going to get a notification down here. I'm going to close this out as well. Then I'm going to go to my printers and scanners. And I already have a shortcut down here on my start menu. So I'm going to click on printers and scanners. I'm going to find my XP15000 and remove it. So here it is right here. Remove device. Are you sure you want to remove this device? Yes. All right, so now the device is gone. So let me exit out of here. So now I need to reinstall the XP15000 driver. I need to get that driver from Epson.com. So I need to go to my my browser here. All right, and I'm going to search here for XP15000. It's going to pull them up here. You can keep either one of these. Click on support. And normally in my old video, I would have told you to not to download this drivers and utilities combos package and to go to the drivers tab and download the one that says printer driver, but they've since removed that and they only have the remote print driver and the drivers and utilities combo package installer. So I'm going to download that and click on download. And we'll download it to the desktop. All right, and then we'll go to the desktop, and here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And this is going to install the latest XP15000 driver from Epson. So I'm going to click on yes here. It's going to tell me it has all the files, contains the installer to obtain everything you need for the XP15000. Click OK. All right, I'm going to accept this license agreement here. And then I'm going to uncheck all of these and only leave the drivers and utilities checked. I'm going to click on install. All right, I'm going to click on next. And I'm going to have we're going to do direct USB connection. Of course, you need to have a, before we go any further, you have to have a USB cable, and the printer has to be connected via USB to a Windows-based computer. You cannot do this on a Mac. But if you already have it or if you left it in like I did, you can just pull your USB plug out and then click on next. going to tell you that you want to wait for the printer to finish charging ink. It's already done that on my printer, so I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And then right here is going to prompt me to connect my printer. So I'm going to plug the USB cable back in. All right, so it looks like it detected it. And at this point, I'm just going to click on next. It's going to launch the product registration, but I'm going to go ahead and decline it. So I'm going to wait for this to come up. And we're going to decline that, and it'll tell you that it's finished. So I'm going to go back to my printers and scanners just to confirm it. And as you can see, it's sitting here with the XP 15000 series as my default printer. So at this point, what I want to do now, I want to install the Chipless firmware. So I need to go back to my browser, and this time I'm going to go to inkchip.net and download the Chipless firmware for my version of printer, which is the XP 15000. So if you've downloaded this before and this is a reinstall, you're going to need your activation key. If you don't, you're going to have to repurchase. If you don't have the activation key, you're going to have to repurchase a code from inkchip.net. We'll go over that here in a minute. So first we want to go to soft, and then we're going to scroll down and find our model, which is the XP 15000. It's the last one in the XP series line. So we're going to go here to firmware and then download it. Make sure you download this one. Don't download something else and try to install it on top of it. Go to XP 15000, click on download, and we're going to download that to my desktop here. Now it comes in a compressed file called a RAR file, or in a RAR format, and you can use programs such as WinRAR to decompress it. I use a free program called PeaZip. I don't really know why I use that one. It was the first one that came up and it was free. So I'll put a link in the description for that. Also, I'm going to download the activation now because I'm going to have to reactivate the Chipless firmware as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save that to my desktop. All right, so now everything is saved to the desktop. So let me go ahead and close out of here. All right, so here are the files that we just downloaded. Here's the printer driver. We've already installed the printer, so we don't need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. So now I'm left with the compressed file that we got from INKCHIP and the activation file that we got from INKCHIP. I'm going to open this compressed file here for the Chipless firmware. I'm going to extract it right here on the desktop so you guys can see it. And there it is. So at this point, we can move this off to the side. We don't need it. So right now, I need to go ahead and install the Chipless firmware. And to do that, I'm just going to double click this folder. I'm going to right click on this INKCHIP firmware file, and I'm going to run as administrator. I'm going to click on yes here, and it's going to launch this application. I'm going to next here, agree on step 2, click on next. On step 4, we're going to click on next, and then it's going to pop up with new version on the USB and on the network. We can only use copy the firmware via USB cable, so we can uncheck this network version here. Some people are getting into or having an issue when they pull this up. They're not seeing anything up here except for network. You can only get network. The USB option isn't available. So there's a few things that we came up with, and these are things that I've seen work to get that up there. So what you could do at this point, if you don't see anything up here except for network, you could just power the power the printer off and then back up, it'll come back up to that maintenance error screen. But sometimes if you restart the program, you'll see the USB option here. If that doesn't work, what you could do is you can cancel out of here. You can go back to your printers and scanners and make sure you delete everything from here. So all the printers that you have in here, all the Epson printers that you have in here, I would just go ahead, try to delete those, and then reinstall only the XP driver, the XP 15000 driver, and the XP 15000 printer, and only install that one with the drivers from Epson. I've seen that work as well. Other than that, man, oh, there's another thing that people were saying was happening. Sometimes instead of seeing anything up there, they would get an error message saying downgraded, cannot be upgraded. So that happens if you have a older version of the firmware than the one that you currently have on. For example, this is an older firmware for the XP 15000. And what happens when you try to install it, it'll come up with this downgraded, it cannot be updated. If you're getting this while you're trying to install Chipless firmware, then that means that you don't have the right firmware downloaded from inkchip.net or wherever you got your Chipless firmware from. Make sure you're going to inkchip.net, not inkchip.com or .biz or something like that. Make sure it's official INKCHIP firmware. These firmwares are coded with a date, and the way they come up, if that date is older than the current firmware version that you have, it'll think that it's downgraded version of the firmware, and it won't let you install it. So if you've got the inkchip.net version of the firmware, though, you should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. Click on yes here. And I'm going to go ahead and run this updater here. So I'm going to click on next. I'm going to click on I agree. Click next here. I'm going to click next again. Of course, want to use the USB. I'm going to uncheck the network version. And then I'm going to click on start. And then on the printer, it's going to restart. And it's going to tell me that it's updating the new firmware. And then it's going to restart. Okay, so once the printer restarts, you'll get a message down here saying firmware version confirmed. You don't have to wait until this finishes up at 85%. It'll take forever. So we're just going to Control-Alt-Delete, go to my task manager here, and you're going to click on the one that says, I can get it to stay. Epson Firmware Updater, 32-bit. And we're going to right click and click on End Task. And that'll get rid of the firmware updater. We'll close out. And now the Chipless firmware is written to the printer, but it still has to be activated. So what we want to do is go to the inkchip.net activation. Again, we're going to right click on it, run as administrator. And click on yes here. And then the first time it runs, it's going to update, and then it's going to shut down and tell you to restart it. So we're going to click OK. It'll close out, and then I'm going to rerun it again. Right click, run as administrator, click on yes. And the reason I right click and run as administrator, sometimes it'll pop up in a different language, or if it's like jumbled up like this or something, and English might be blocked out so you can't click on it, or if you click on it, nothing changes. We found that if you right click, run as administrator, that you'll be able to click on English and you'll be able to read these buttons here. All right, so what you want to do here, you'll see that the USB cable is connected to the printer and it's showing up here in the activations. So what I want to do now is get my activation code. Again, if you don't have your activation code from the first time that you installed this, you're going to have to either find that email and reinstall and reactivate it using the code that they sent you, or you're going to have to find your activation portion, your activation recovery code, and paste it down here in the area where it says activation code. You can click on paste and click activate, and it'll write it that way. If not, you can also put it in by using Activate Online and then putting your serial number in there, the one that you got from them in the email. So right now, what's happening is once I activated it, it's going to restart. And once it restarts, it's going to be off of that screen telling me that the cartridge is not installed correctly. So that means that the Chipless firmware has been written and activated properly. So now let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing cleaned up and get a good nozzle check. So I decided to install new tubing and reprime the cartridges, and after some time, and I'm talking hours of troubleshooting, head cleanings, purge files, I was finally able to get a good nozzle check. I cleaned it up and loaded in some A-Sub 120, printed out and pressed a few test items, and now it's good to go. So if you're having some issues, you can run this video back and follow these steps to get back up and running. And remember, if the USB option isn't there at the time of your firmware install, try uninstalling all of your printers, reboot the PC, reinstall only the XP15000 by itself, and then try to reinstall the Chipless firmware. And if you're getting the downgraded, it cannot be updated error, make sure that you downloaded the correct firmware version. You should not be getting that error if you're using the inkchip.net firmware. And if you need to repurchase or purchase for the first time your activation on inkchip.net, be sure to use the coupon code GORILLA to save 10% off at the checkout. If you made it this far, I would like to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, good luck and good night.